Hello everyone, my name is Good Oyster, and welcome to another review model of the RX-78, the Gundam the GP00, which basically Gundam Unit 0. Now, this model is based off the GP series of Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3 during the Start as Memory arc of the Gundam franchise. Basically 0083, but this mobile suit is technically, this Gundam is technically 3 years before the Gundam 8, Full Vernier and Gundam Unit 2 were in development. Now, the pilot of the Gundam was a young Xeon pilot, a new type for the Principality Xeon. During the 1 Year War, she was accompanied by her, I believe, her lieutenant. I do not know her name, nor the commander's name. It is my this Gundam was basically off of the the Universal Century Engage Gundam game, off of not Play Store, but obviously the Google Play, and basically the majority of the MSV side series. Now, the pilot of this mobile suit, when she was in Principality Xeon, during the final battle of Abawaku, sorry, I had a burp. During that battle, final battle sequence, she and her commanding officer were in a mobile armor. That one mobile armor that we seen from the first Gundam series, to where the mobile armor had a big, it was yellow and it had two twin blades, and it had a big old mouth, like it was a monster, like a gremlin or a demon in a way. I don't exactly know I can't remember its name, but it's one of them. Now, as soon as during that battle situation, the mobile armor was being destroyed by endless forces of the Federation's GIMs and the Ball. Now, her commanding officer unfortunately died, but in his will, he wanted her to continue living on and not end up like her family. Later on, after the war with the 1 Year War, she has applied as a job testing pilot over with what's that electronics? Not Granada. I would say she was working in Granada on the moon as well. I'm trying to remember the company who designed mobile suits for the Federation and Xeon forces. I have to look that up again. I'm more likely wrong that it starts with the AC or AE. That's the logo of the company. So during their part, I think she knew there were still members of the Xeon forces that were working with the company so that they can make their own Gundam for the Principality of Xeon, or remaining. And what we get was Gundam Engage. I want to say this is probably the first Gundam that was being produced for the Xeon. Now, like I said, I can be wrong, so I might be wrong about that. But later on, she was considered to be the testing pilot due to her piloting skills. Now, when she's piloting this mobile suit, it was very, very difficult for her, because it was the very first Gundam series that they were making for this before the Stardust Memory. Then later on, there would be some Xeon remnants that she would use the Gundam to stop them from either destroying the mobile suit or causing terror. Now, jumping on years later on, after the Stardust Memory, she was feeling distrust about the Principality of Xeon, or remnants of Xeon, because on how the way they captured the Gundam Unit 2 and used the nuclear warhead against the Federation. Um, Later on, she wasn't able to pilot the Gundam Engage for a while until when the Titans starting to emerge, making their own government with their own official military ranks just between the Federation during the Gulf War, not Gulf War, the Galactic Civil War. Sorry, during the Civil War between the AUG and Titans. Later on, she would be piloting the Gundam Engage, but it would be outfitted to different colors and weapons for the Gundam Engage. Which later on she is acquitted to be training with the Cyber New type, which would be 4 and Remry. But I don't believe she met with 4 during the Gundam Zeta series. I believe that she only met is Rosemi. That was her name, Rosemi. I'm sorry. Rosemi was a close friend of her, and during the operation of the AU's invasion plan for dropping majority of their mobile suits down to Earth and start taking cities one by one from the Titans. Later on, she was able to overcome those situations during combat and staying in for the line of duty. Her Titan color on Gundam Engage would be with about, let's say, dark purple, yellow, the bits of red, and then about pink or so. Now, later on, after the Gundam Zeta series, we jumped to Gundam Double Zeta, to where later on, after the war with the Titans and AUG, she was either rescue or flee to the Axis power, the Zeon's Axis. Later on, her Gundam was equipped with funnel systems to where her Gundam would be actually stronger than it was when it was equipped with the Titan's design on her Gundam Engage. To where she was training the Puru clones when I believe she was with what's his name, that young Zeon fellow who created Puru for the Cubulays. Now, unfortunately, the majority of the Cubulays were almost destroyed. Only a few that survived. Then, when the pilot of the Gundam Engage, immune for herself to be it's hard to explain to where I haven't played the game and understand the story on it. I really wanted to play the game, but unfortunately, I cannot play it whether it's on my phone. I need to find out how to play it so that I can get into the story and make better reviews and comments. Unfortunately, so later on, she was fighting another pilot, to where she was able to hone her new type abilities to where she can at least control another mobile suits and then use them as like the funnels, but more of a mobile bit, like how with Gundam X when they were the new Earth government were consorting testings for new types, so using the mobile suits for mobile bits or so. Now, that's as story wise, that is best I can say. I know it's not the greatest storytelling, honestly, and like I said, I don't have access to the Gundam Engage game, which I do want to, and I have seen some stuff that they added into it, and I've really been wanting to get on there and play it. If anyone has a option for me or advice to let me know how to play it, shoot it down in the comment section, because I really want to play that game for a while. Now, speaking about the model, I do like how the head version of this Gundam unit was a little bit different. Kind of reminds me of not a football head, but a little bit a thick head. Honestly, it's like basically like a football head, like wearing a helmet on top of it, just with visors. With this mobile suit, the model itself is really good. There is another version of the Engage the Gundam unit right here, to where it has like the Gundam Mark II's mobile armor variant, to where it can use the Mega Particle Cannon, like from the Gundam Zeta series with what's her name for piloting the Gundam Mutant Mark II, and then she ends up dying from it. But either, I was enjoying that this model, enjoying about this model. I was originally going to try to get this from P Bandai, but unfortunately, they did not have it in stock for a while. So I got this from eBay. So if anyone wants to go and buy this, eBay is your best choice. It depends on the seller. It might be pricey, but you never know. But I recommend having this in your collection at least. So the shield design is basically like I said about the Gundam units 1 and 2 and 3. Excuse me. With the full Vernier shield, exact match but different form of the shield. Not as like how the Gundam full Vernier with the shield extends out or so. Now, the backpack I kind of like a little bit. So the backpack is really small and slim, and then you don't have to do much. You can just move this out on the thruster pack, and then the mobile suit will do either a jump pack or a flight. Not much of a flight mode, but pretty much like a long burst. And right here between the skirt, it has another stabilizer system. Like, let's say this mobile suit is falling down or falling from height. So for design is that if these two skirts spread apart, it will actually emit energy to push itself from falling straight down. Like, say if the thrusters are out of commissions from the thruster pack, then the pilot would have these as a precautionary. The legs are really unique, honestly, that I've seen, but they're similarity to the Gundam Unit 1 and full Vernier. Now, the hip joints on these two legs are questionable. I would be fine if they were like regular stigmatory hip joints, to where you just slide them in and then you don't have to move them. You just move them up and down, sideways. But they have a little winding wheel to where you could extend the legs out in a way, but not entirely. And also by standards, you do have two beam sabers, which we're right here, and also we got a little fist hand so that we can have our little beam saber to hold in. Goodness, my fingers are big or fat on there. Girthy in a way. And also we got another thruster pack to where, let's say that if the pilot wants to go faster or goes, I wouldn't say supersonic, but we do have this girthy thruster pack, which we will take the pack from off the mobile suit and then slide this sucker in there, and just look how big these thrusters would be, or the turbines would be. Now, with the pack right here would be equipped, there would be a so much increase on the G points or G force onto the pilots. So more likely, it is not recommended for the pilot to keep using it unless it is necessary for continuing the testing procedures on it, or just entirely only use it once and don't ever use it again. And also you got your standardized beam rifle, which the beam rifle is really small. It kind of does remind you of the Gundam RX-78's beam rifle, but it's more of like basically like a regular small beam rifle. I'm assuming the magazine is like right here. From the looks of it, you can see, hold on, let me zoom in. So you can see kind of like a Magnum round, or the Zeta Gundam's beam rifle clip, or a magazine clip, or even the Mark II. So I enjoyed this model when I was building it. I really love it. I'm glad it's in my collection. I might get a double in later on in the future, probably not right now. Like I said, I recommend you guys getting it if you're having your collection, if you're a big Universal Century fan, or just in general if you want to have it. I recommend getting it. I'll put down the eBay website on the description. I'll probably check later on for P Bandai to see if it's still on there on the website, if they're going to bring it back, and I'll add it to the description. And if not, unfortunately, might be a while till they bring it back. And if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you guys have any comments or questions, or even historical facts for the Gundam franchise on the pilot and the Gundam itself, don't hesitate to tell me. I've been itching to learn, even though if I haven't, I have no access to the Gundam Engage game. And if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, go for it. I can't force you, so that you guys can keep getting notification on upcoming new videos. I do have more models, and I will see you guys on the next review. Bye bye.